Hello students, how are you? Now let us start our next move in our study. First of all, I want to give you some questions and answers. This is now this question and answers that I gave you is from the lesson The Eyes Have It, written by Ruskin Bond. I shall try to give more and more questions and answers of the exercises that we shall read. Today I am going to start the lesson Strong Roots. This is a very important prose piece, Strong Roots, written by APJ Abdul Kalam. An amazing man, APJ Abdul Kalam. Before going through the text, Strong Roots, it will be better to know something about our APJ Abdul Kalam. First of all, I would request you, all of you, to open this book and reach the second prose piece, that is Strong Roots, written by APJ Abdul Kalam. This is the prose piece, Strong Roots. Now students, we are today going to study a prose piece written by a wonderful man. APJ Abdul Kalam was a great man. He was born in Madras, in the town of Rameswaram, a very important place. His parents were very noble. His father's name was Janul Abdeen and mother's name was Ashyamma. As a student, he was very sincere, he was very hardworking and very honest. He grew up and became a very good man. He studied well. He got his higher studies in physics and got a degree in engineering also. Later on, he became a professor at Anna University. Then he became a scientist. We actually know him as the Missile Man of India, who contributed a lot in the making of many missiles like Agni, Prithvi, Akash, Trishul, Nag, these kinds of missiles. You cannot imagine how hard-working he was and how he worked for the progress of our country in working in the field of science. He wrote many books, India 2020, Wings of Fire. He was awarded with many awards like Padma Bhushan Award, Padma Vibhushan Award, and also the topmost award of India, Bharat Ratna. He also became the President of India, the 11th President of India, and worked from 2002 to 2007. And during his presidentship, he led our country well. He showed great integrity in whatever he did, whatever judgment he took about many policies. The most interesting facet of his life is his greatness as a very humble human being. He never showed that he is a great man. He stressed on the fact that in whatever field one is, he must be rooted. He must be there on the ground. His feet must be there on the ground. So students, when we are talking about APJ Abdul Kalam, we are talking of a very good man, very honest man, and an ideal citizen of India. He was a role model for every Indian. He respected an honest man. He was himself an honest man, and above all, he thought himself to be an Indian first. Now I am giving you a short information list about this great man. You can take it. This. तब ना वो ले पाएगा जैसे फोटो ले पाए. Let us now go through the text. This text is actually taken from his autobiography, Wings of Fire. Now, let us read the text. I was born into a middle-class Tamil family in the island town of Rameswaram, in the erstwhile Madras state. My father, Jainul-Abdin, had neither much formal education nor much wealth. Despite these disadvantages, he possessed great innate wisdom and a true generosity of spirit. He had an ideal helpmate in my mother, Ashiyamma. I don't recall the exact number of people she fed every day, but I am quite certain that far more outsiders ate with us than all the members of our own family put together. My parents were widely regarded as an ideal couple. My mother's lineage was the more distinguished, one of her forebears having been bestowed the title of Bahadur by the British. I was one of many children, a short boy with rather undistinguished looks, born to tall and handsome parents. We lived in our ancestral house, which was built in the middle of the 19th century. It was a fairly large Pakka house made of limestone and brick on the Mosque Street in Rameswaram. My austere father used to avoid all inessential comforts and luxuries. However, all necessities were provided for in terms of food, medicine, or clothing. In fact, I would say mine was a very secure childhood, materially and emotionally. I normally ate with my mother, sitting on the floor of the kitchen. She would place a banana leaf before me, on which she then ladled rice and aromatic sambar, a variety of sharp homemade pickle, and a dollop of fresh coconut chutney. Now, in the first para of our text here, we come to know that about the birthplace of APJ Abdul Kalam. The birthplace is the island town of Rameswaram, a very famous town, a place in South India. Uh, uh, Today it is the state is known as Chennai, Tamil Nadu. The place is known as Chennai, but it was then when he was born, it was known as Madras state. He also tells us about his father Jainul Abdin. He tells us that his father Jainul Abdin had not so much formal education, but he was a man of wisdom. He had great innate wisdom. Uh, his mother was an ideal helpmate, that means wife of Jainul Abdin. Uh, uh, APJ Abdul Kalam also tells us that in his house, besides the members of the house, there were so many people, uh, neighboring people, that came and ate with them as a with love, as a family member. He also, in the second para, he tells us that his parents were widely regarded as an ideal couple. They were very good uh, people, his father and his mother. His mother's lineage was more distinguished than his father's, because one of her forebears had been bestowed the title of Bahadur at that time. During the British, people of great eminence were given the title of Bahadur, and it was a very good title. It was very respectable title then. In the third para, he tells us that he was one of many children, a very short boy, and his look was not that handsome, though his parents were tall and handsome. He also tells us about his ancestral house, which was built in the middle of the 19th century. It was a fairly large pakka house made of limestone and brick, and this house was situated in the Mosque Street in Rameswaram. His father was very austere. He avoided all inessential comforts and luxuries. He did not engage himself in luxuries. He was very austere, his father. And Abdul Kalam also asserts on the fact that all the necessities in terms of food, medicine or clothing were provided to him and all his brothers. And he also tells us that his childhood was a kind of secure childhood. It was materially secure as well as emotionally secure. In the last para, we get a very emotional picture when it tells us about the fact that he ate his food with his mother sitting on the floor of the kitchen. It is a very beautiful emotional picture actually. And his mother would place a banana leaf before him, on which she then ladled rice and aromatic sambar, and then a variety of sharp homemade pickle and a dollop of fresh coconut chutney, and they enjoyed it very much. Really beautiful picture, isn't it? So this first page contains all these facts: his birthplace, his parents, his ancestral house, and the motherly love with which his mother would serve him food, and son and mother together ate the food and enjoyed it. It is really a very good scene here that is given. Now we shall do this much this day. More will follow in my next video. Hope this will this would do a great help to you. And bye bye.